Tim, starting off in the first race of the afternoon with horse number 10, Red Lion Captain, and Craig Zaki.
Yeah, he's a super horse. We've just got on him a bit early because we're trying to qualify for one of those ready-to-run races. And bearing that in mind, I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's got a lot of ability.
Moving on to race 6, you've got horse number 7, DANZA, and of course Chase Mojan.
Yeah, I think she prefers this sort of trip, although she's very versatile. Look, she wasn't disgraced in Durban. We were disappointed, but looking back at it, she was only 3 or 4 lengths off in very hot fields. I mean, the best 3-year-olds in the country. So she's obviously full of ability. She's very fast, and I think she's probably fit enough for this. So we're hoping we could run into the money.
Lovely. Now, funny enough, this morning I was actually looking at some footage of Pagoda galloping at Greyville with this filly called Bipot, who's a high-class individual, and she's been sparingly raced, but she's got a beautiful pedigree and she's got some cracking form to match.
Yeah, she's a lovely filly. I do think this is a bit sharp for her, though. But that being said, these good horses, they could come up. We drew in the bush for the fillies race, and we drew a bit better here, which is why we've gone up against the colts. Obviously not ideal. Got a hell of a lot of respect for the big horses in the race. But we're just hoping she could come on, and I think she'll have a good season.
Yeah, I was rather intrigued to hear the comments of Guy Harwood with regard to the ARC, and I know there's a huge difference between the ARC quality horse and what we see over here, but this time of the year the fillies are very, very effective.
Yeah, I always think, you got a good filly, that they got so much heart, and they just seem to be so willing to take him on. There's nothing better than a top class filly. They kind of give you chills. We are thinking about the Summer Cup with Bipot. I do think she'll enjoy that sort of trip, the long run in. But let's just go one race at a time.
Okay, then a filly that's definitely got ability. Horse number 1 in race 8 is Miss Bulsara with Gavin Larena.
Yeah, she won with authority last time. All due respect to the field, I don't think she beat much, but she couldn't have done it any better. She has had a long break. She's got all of her vaccines done. We had to scratch her for a virus a couple months ago. So she may just be short of another gallop, but she's a small filly and she doesn't take much work. And with Gavin on, you're always hopeful.
Matthew, starting off in the second race with a filly that looks like she's got some decent promise in Holiday Romance.
Yeah, her last run was very promising. She had been freshened up and she made a good forward move and just got a little tired. So I think she's made some improvement at home. It's a competitive race with a lot of similar form. So, I expect it to be right there again.
Yeah, I was actually at the course that day and there seemed to be some very positive feedback from Callan.
Yeah, there would be because, like I said, she had been freshened up. So she did need the run. She got another good draw, so everything will be in her favour again.
And then, without being over melodramatic, one of those type of horses that makes you get up in the morning, Cascapedia.
Yeah, she's going about things the right way, and she's done nothing wrong until now. It's a tough field on Saturday. It's not a walkover field. It's going to be a good test of her ability. I would have preferred the race to be on the stand side track, but unfortunately things don't work like that. But she's drawn 1 and also should have the run of the race and have every chance. She's fit and well and expecting a big run.
I think she had a hang of a lot against her last time and she really acquitted herself with an exemplary performance.
Yeah, we didn't really want to see her racing wide. It was really a hard enough ask to give some nice young colts a lot of weight, and she then raced wide. And coming off a layoff first time 1800 was never going to be easy, but she had enough class to pull her through.
Okay, and then on to an impeccably bred filly called ALILEO, who is accompanied by SMOKEY AFFAIR in the same race.
Yeah, ALILEO is a difficult horse at home. She has her problems, but she's very out of the weights here. But we just decided that if she can run and earn a place, we'll take the penalty. We protected with the new handicapping guidelines as to how much they can give us for running a place. So although she's out of the way, she's only had 3 runs and never been further than the 1200s. So we're expecting some sort of improvement. I think she is slightly better than her rating. And we're willing to take a penalty for a bit of black top if she does run well.
SMOKEY AFFAIR?
Yeah, and then SMOKEY AFFAIR, she had her first run back. It wasn't bad. She needed the run. she's definitely improved at home, and I think she's going to prefer coming off a good draw, using her action a bit more, and I expect a better run from her. She's also out at the weights, but there's a couple races coming up of the ground that this race will put her in a good place for.
Okay, MUJALLAD comes from KwaZulu-Natal, where he was campaigning, and he faces his stiffest turn to date in the Spring Challenge.
Yeah, well, he's a nice young horse. Last time in the mile at Greyville was probably a little too far for him. He looked a winner and just faded out the last 200 meters. So 1400, 1450 is more up his alley. He's got a nice jaw, nice light weight. It is a tough field of older horses, but 3-year-olds have a pretty good record in this race. We're just looking for him to run well. He'll improve from the run, and this race will be a good start for him for his season.
And then finally, in the 9th race, it would be a commentator's dream to call On a Mission, Oh My Darling, coming home first and second. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, Oh My Darling has been a tricky customer at home. She's also had her problems, so we've raced her pretty sparingly. Her work's been good, also drawn well, but she's got top weight. She's got to come to the party now. She's in good form. On a Mission, she moved up last time and got quite tired. She definitely improved at home, and we always kind of felt that as a 2-year-old she used to run around quite a bit, so we tried her in blinkers at home, and it seems to have sharpened up. So we put them on in the race, and we're hoping they can make a big difference to her.
Okay, and finally, talking about On a Mission, what would be the long-term plan for CASCAPEDIA?
Yeah, it's a tough call. We have entered her in a race like the Summer Cup, but she's still got to step up to the plate. The entries were free, so it wasn't a hard decision to do something like that. If she can win on Saturday, well, then we can start planning some feature races.